ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
Hare Krishna, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto number 1, chapter number 4, entitled as The Appearance of Sri Narad, and text number 7. कथं वा पाण्डवेयस्य
पाण्डवेयस्य
राजर्षेर्मुनिना सह
राजर्षिमुनिना सह
संवादसमभूतात्
संवादसमभूतात्
यत्रेषा सात्वती श्रुतिः.
यत्रेषा शाश्वती श्रुतिः.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki translation. How did it so happen that King Parikshit made this great sage, making it possible for this great transcendental essence of the Vedas, Bhagavatam, to be sung to him? Purport. Srimad Bhagavatam is stated here as the essence of the Vedas. It is not an imaginary story as it is sometimes considered by unauthorized men. It is also called Shuka Samhita or the Vedic hymns spoken by Sri Shukadeva Goswami, the great liberated sage. Hare Krishna. So I welcome every one of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam class here at ISKCON Goregaon West. And today's purport is very small, but by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we will try our best to elaborate it. So the first thing in the translation, Shaunaka Rishi and all, they are asking Sutta Goswami that this first Srimad Bhagavatam is narrated by Shukadev Goswami to Parikshit Maharaj. Now we are curious that how Shukadev Goswami, who is supposed to travel from one place to another place like a madman, how they met together. So that incidents will be now further told by Sutta Goswami to Shaunakadi Rishi in the 18th and 19th chapter and all. First important thing is that in order to get any kind of a knowledge, whether it is a material information or a spiritual knowledge, inquisitiveness, jigyasa, is very important. Only that student who is a jigyasu can get knowledge in that particular field, because whenever he asks questions, a kind of a relative questions, with a very humble heart, the person who is guiding or teacher who is guiding becomes very happy and he impart that particular knowledge into the heart of the student. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadikshante te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. That's what the qualification to get knowledge from any kind of a spiritual master or any kind of a guide. That is the same thing. The first and most important thing is to accept humility in front of that guide. When Bhagavad Gita started and Arjuna got confused, Arjuna was giving different kinds of all arguments to Krishna, that Krishna, see, if I fight, what will happen? All the Kuru dynasty will get destroyed, all the men they will get destroyed, and then there will be irreligiosity will come up, unwanted progeny will come up, how I will enjoy without my relatives, even if I have Hastinapur, whom I will show that opulence, so it's not good to fight, let me go to the forest. So till the point Arjuna was giving his own arguments, baseless arguments, illogical arguments according to Krishna, Krishna was completely shant, he was peaceful, he was not uttering even a single word. But when Arjuna told ki now Shishyasteham Shadimamtram Prapannam, after giving all these arguments, now I became a very confused person. I don't know what to do next. So please accept me as your disciple and guide me. So when Arjuna accepted that humble position, Krishna started guiding him. And then one after another, Arjuna, out of inquisitiveness, he asked different questions and then Bhagavad Gita came out. So inquisitive questions and inquisitive nature is very important in order to get specially spiritual knowledge. Now you have asked a question, that's nice, okay, बट आफ्टर आस्किंग अ क्वेश्चन, हाँ मैंने तो क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया, अभी वो आंसर देते रहेंगे, बाकी के लोग सुनते रहेंगे. That kind of attitude is also not good. In order, if somebody is very sincere in his attitude, definitely when he asks question, he is also alert during the answer. And when answer is given, if something more questions come up, any shanka or doubt comes up, he again asks the teacher, like, this is what I have a doubt right now. So the same inquisitiveness, even Shukadeva Goswami glorifies Parikshit Maharaj for this inquisitiveness, for this alertness especially. First, when Parikshit Maharaj asks a question that I am eager to know, I am going to die within 7 days, tell me what is the ultimate duty of a dying person. So Shukadeva Goswami says, Varyaneshate prashnan krito lokahitam nripa. O king, your questions and your inquiries are such a wonderful and beautiful that not only you, but the all people who are present right now here and for coming generation, they will be benefited. Varyanesh, they are the very topmost questions which are you right now asking me. So, Shukadev Goswami glorified the questions of Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, and then in 10th canto there is a one incidence where the alertness of Parikshit Maharaj has been shown. There are the two aspects we can understand. Now, Parikshit Maharaj is sitting at one place for 7 days and 7 nights without food, without any water, plus no sleep, right? If we don't sleep even for one night, we become, the hallucination starts, and even chalte chalte we are like, ha, that kind of a situation comes up. But Parikshit Maharaj is not sleeping since last 7 days. And when 10th canto started, Shukadeva Goswami, you know teacher many times, they give us a googly कि देखना है मुझे कि मेरा शिष्य कितने अच्छे तरीके से मुझे सुन रहा है. तो सिमिलरली शुकदेव गोस्वामी, he just threw a googly. What happened? The incidence of Aghasur has been already done. Lord Krishna killed Aghasur. And after that, Shukadeva Goswami started narrating the next, that all the cowherd boys, when they came to Vrindavan, they started reciting the killing of Aghasur to their parents. After one, they recited. But in between there, for 1 year, there was no discussion of killing of Aghasur. And now they are discussing with their parents. And all of a sudden, Parikshit Maharaj said, wait. What happened? Why this coward bird didn't discuss killing of Aghasur for 1 year? And then Shukadeva Goswami started glorifying the alertness of Parikshit Maharaj. You are such a wonderful hearer. Only person who is a good hearer or good listener can become good orator, because he will get the benefit of that knowledge maximum in his life. He is alert, so he can imbibe that particular knowledge into his heart, and that's why he can also become a good orator. अगर आपको अच्छा वक्ता बनना है तो आपको अच्छा श्रोता बनना पड़ता है, और परीक्षित महाराज उसके उदाहरण है, सुत गोस्वामी उसके उदाहरण है. क्योंकि सुत गोस्वामी ने शुकदेव गोस्वामी से जो भी श्रीमद् भागवतम सुना था, वो इतना उत्साहित तरीके से, धैर्यता से और बहुत अलर्ट होके सुना था, इसलिए सुत गोस्वामी भी बहुत अच्छे वक्ता बन पाए और शौनकादि ऋषि को वो अच्छे से इस ज्ञान को वापस दे पाए. तो परीक्षित महाराज को फिर शुकदेव गोस्वामी ने जब ग्लोरीफाई किया, व्हेन ही ग्लोरीफाइड शुकदेव गोस्वामी Parikshit Maharaj, he said, this is what is required for a perfect disciple, to hear Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitate Koriya Aikya. In Guru Puja, when we sing, whenever Guru says, his Vakya should be considered as his Padma Mukha, and whatever Vakya is coming out, we should take it in our Chitta, in our consciousness, and make it as our lifeline. This is what my Guru Maharaj said. And that's what Prabhupada also showed. What Prabhupada showed to us, when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur first time in Ultadanga Junction Road met Srila Prabhupada, first statement, what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, that you are a young educated man, why can't you preach this message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Western world in English language. Prabhupada took it very seriously, and in 1965, after lifetime of preparation, he went to the Western world and preached that message. The second time, at the banks of Radha Kunda, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur gave a very beautiful advice to Srila Prabhupada that if whenever you get money, print books. And that's what Srila Prabhupada did. That's how a disciple should work. Whatever my spiritual master is saying, I should take it to my heart and I should try to follow it throughout my lifetime. That's what Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitate Koriya Aikya. And when we do it very nicely with sincerely, then Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashito. Prema Bhakti Jahar Hoite Avidya Vinash Jate. That all things will happen when we will take the instructions of our spiritual master seriously as our lifetime mission. So here, Shaunakadi Rishi, they were very much inquisitive. How Parikshit Maharaj, who is a kingly order person, and how the Shukadev Goswami, who is a transcendentalist and a kind of an avadhuta person, they met together and they discussed the Srimad Bhagavatam, and that Srimad Bhagavatam has come up. The second point which is mentioned here, the Bhagavatam is the essence of all the Vedas. Even in the glorification of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Shankaracharya in Gita Mahatmya, he says, Sarvopanishado Gavo Dogdho Gopalanandana Partha Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Sakrit Gitamritam Mahat. That all the Vedas are compared to the cow. And Lord Krishna, he himself is a Gopal. His business is to take out the milk. But in order to take out the milk for that milkman, the Vatsa means that small bachada. What we call it in English? Calf. Calf. Calf is required, and then only cow will give milk. So Partha means Arjuna became a calf, that bachada, and through him, Lord Krishna, he took out the milk from all the Vedas, and that milk is actually what? Bhagavad Gita. Okay, the Srimad Bhagavatam also has given us same analogy, that all the Vedas as compared, last time also we saw in the third chapter, it is compared as a milk, okay, the essence. Then it is also compared to the ripened fruit. The Vedas are considered as a kalpa vriksha. Now the analogy is also so relative. Vedas, the beauty of Vedas and the beauty of Vedic culture is that our culture never rejects any person. Whatever you have a stage, whether you are in first standard, second standard, fifth standard, or PhD level, Vedas give you knowledge according to that. If you are totally into Karma Kanda, Vedas will give you encouragement for that. If you are into demigod worship, Pitru worship, Vedas will give you the things according to that. But if you are into devotional service, ahetukya pratihata devotional service, Vedas will give you that. So Vedas has a very broad heart and broad perspective. So nobody is rejected in Vedic religion, despite of your cultural background, despite of your mental status, despite your spiritual maturity. That's how the compassionate and broad-hearted Vedic religion is. So these Vedas are considered as Kalpa Vriksha. Why they are called as Kalpa Vriksha? Because whatever you desire, whatever a sadhaka desires, Vedas give you that process, and by following that process, whatever kind of a destination, goal, or benefit you will get, Vedas Shruti Phala, that will be given to you. That's why they are considered as Kalpa Vriksha. You just go to them, ask them, this is what I wanted, and they will give it to you. Okay, so that's why they are the Kalpa Vrikshas. From all these Kalpa Vriksha, Nigama Kalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukhadamrita Drava Samyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhurahurasika Bhuvibhavuka. This, all the Vedas, they are Kalpataru, and their ripened fruit is Srimad Bhagavatam. And because what is the essence of all the tree is the fruit. And when that fruit is like a rasik, rasila, all taste is there within that fruit. All the Rasika Bhaktas, they are very much eager to accept that fruit. Right? If somebody says, my God, Prabhuji, let me tell you, this particular area रत्नागिरी के इस जिले के इस तालुका के इस गांव में ये जो पर्टिकुलर खेत में जो आम आए ना, हापुस, प्रभु अल्टीमेट टेस्ट है उनका, they are heavenly. What we will do, we'll try to search it out, how can I get those mangoes, right? So similarly, the Rasika Bhaktas, they are so inclined towards having those rasas from Krishna Leela, that wherever is Srimad Bhagavatam has been spoken, all those devotees, they used to come there with all kinds of flights, jets, and whatever the way they are comfortable with, they used to come. So when Shukadev Goswami was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni was present. Narada Muni was a grand spiritual master of Shukadev Goswami. Now, if I preach someone and he is going to give Bhagavatam class, how many people are there? They will be relishing the Bhagavatam of their own disciple or the person who they have preached. What to speak of that? Even if somebody is 10 years later came into devotional service than me, we are not interested in hearing from him because he is मेरे junior है यार, इसको मैंने सिखाया है चलना कैसे भक्ति में करके, right? ये जो भी बोलता है ये मैंने उसको कितना अच्छे से समझाया और सिखाया. That kind of a mentality comes. But Narada Muni, Vyasadeva, they are so mature in their understanding and their attraction towards Krishna Bhakti was so strong that even though Shukadeva Goswami reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, they were present in the front row to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. What to speak of Shukadeva Goswami, even their great-grand spiritual child, Sutta Goswami, when he was reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni was there, Vyasadeva was there, even Shukadeva Goswami was also present there. So anywhere in the universe, if there is a Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, the Niyamita Seva of Srimad Bhagavatam is going on, that place becomes spiritually potent. And all the sadhus, santas, rishis, munis and demigods are present in that place while recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. With, by the authoritative speaker. Then and then only Srimad Bhagavatam has its own effect. When I went to Udaipur, there was a very beautiful statement which I heard of Srila Prabhupada. When your sadhana is strong, your preaching will have effect. If your sadhana is not strong, then definitely preaching will be there, but that effect and that transformation will take a lot of time. So each and every one of us, it's not like that only person who is sitting actually on the Vyasasana, he is the only person who is preaching. Each and every devotee who is connected to that temple or that community, who is applying tilak and kanthi and considering himself or herself to be the devotee, they are actually preachers. It's not like that only through words you will preach. Most importantly, rather than the words or more than the words, our actions preaches more. People get attracted by our actions. If our action is also devotional, people feel that yes, they are the genuine people. So whatever we say, acharya, this word comes from acharan. If person he follows what he speaks, people do natamastak, they are naman to that person. In my own mother tongue, there is a very beautiful saying, Bole taisa chale त्याची वंदावी पाऊले. One person, whatever he speaks, if he follows, people will do Dandvat Pranam to that person. Okay, so here Sutta Goswami, Shukadeva Goswami, all these transcendental personalities, they are walking their words. Whatever they were talking, they were walking like that. So that's why the Srimad Bhagavatam is such a wonderful, actually a Gita or a poem which is sung throughout so many great transcendentalists, and since 5000 years, even after such a ghora Kali Yuga right now is going on, but still Srimad Bhagavatam has its own effect. Another thing which Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport is, many times people consider it to be the imaginary story. Now yesterday we were talking about the perception and reality, because every living entity has a defect, 4 defects in their heart, and the foremost of defect is the imperfect senses. So whatever inputs we are taking from our imperfect senses, they are supposed to be imperfect or incomplete, and that's why whatever we have perceived through those senses, we consider it to be the ultimate reality. And if something we see, we hear beyond that perception of our own senses, we consider it to be the imagination, we consider it to be the myth. So, child uh, growing into the womb of mother for 16 years, for our perception, for our senses, it's like a न भूतो न भविष्यति. ऐसा किसने देखा है कि चाइल्ड 9 महीने से ज्यादा पेट में है करके मर जाएगा चाइल्ड? So that's why 16 years Shukadev Goswami is staying in the womb of mother. That's not possible. There is a weapon which can destroy the entire Brahmanda. That's okay, we can imagine that a little bit. But the same weapon can destroy exactly a child within the womb of a mother without harming a mother. It can't be possible. Brahmastra? And it has having such a accuracy? No. Just because we can't create such things, that's why it cannot exist. So that's what our limitation of our knowledge is. Whatever I do, whatever I have experiences, whatever I can imagine in my wildest dream, that's what the reality. Other things simply doesn't exist in this world. That's how a narrow mindedness and narrow intelligence each and every living entity in this material world has. And what to speak of a 7-year child, you know, lifting a complete mountain on the small finger of his left hand? Impossible. My child cannot take this matchbox in his hand. And you are saying that a 7-year child can lift Govardhan hill on his finger. That's why it's a mythology. So many times only unauthorized people, and especially those people have a heart of atheistic mentality. Even many times we see people consider them to be the religious and spiritual, but that spark of atheism is there within their heart. And because of that spark, even though for their own gain and sense gratification, they try to follow some kind of a religiosity, their heart is not trusting the Lord and their leaders. So most of the time, such things, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, Vedas and Puranas, are considered to be the imaginary story by unauthorized people. So let them be happy with their small, tiny intelligence. Here we are going with the intelligence of Shukadeva Goswami, Sutta Goswami, and especially the giver of intelligence, Lord Krishna. Okay. It is also called as the Shuka Samhita, and this Vedic hymns has been spoken by Shukadeva Goswami, the great liberated sage. So that's how this Srimad Bhagavatam has been glorified by many, many people. This same thing, this inquisitiveness now will lead into the same chapter about the dissatisfaction or a narazi or nairashya of Vyasadeva. In our life, we also try to accomplish thousands of things, and even after that accomplishment there is a kind of dissatisfaction within our heart. There was a one person who was a very rich from US. His name was Rockefeller, and he has such a unimaginable filthy richness with him. Unfortunately, what happened, his young son, maybe 20 to 25-year old son, he was having a kind of fantasy, or we can say as a um, curiosity always to travel in the tribal places. So once he went to the Amazon river and the deep forest of Amazon, where he wanted to have a documentary on the tribal people, Adivasi log, and especially they were the uh, Adamkhor, Narabhakshi, what we call Narabhakshi in English. Not carnivorous, cannibals. they were cannibals actually. So that person went, and unfortunately he had some kind of a videos and all with them, but unfortunately after some time these tribal people, especially they were cannibal, he all of that small that young man got all of a sudden he vanished from that site, and many people they searched for him, searched for his belongings. Ultimately there are many theories, but most widely accepted theory is that because these people consider him to be threat after some time, these cannibal people, he ate they ate him. They're cannibals, na? So they ate him. And this Rockefeller, he sent like almost for 3 months, like thousands and thousands of troops to search for his son. Even there were, in documentary they said 13 to 14 helicopters. They were searching almost for 3 months in the whole island. That where is their son? So see what a filthy rich person. And after that also that Rockefeller family has accomplished a lot in their material life. But when the question has been asked to that Rockefeller senior, that how you feel after this accomplishment, he said it's a void actually. I could not safeguard my son. I could not protect my son. What is the use of such kind of a wealth and filthy richness if it cannot be utilized for my own people? So, in this world, many times people they accomplish the thousands of things, but still the heart becomes very empty, because the heart will only feel that fulfillment when it will be utilized in Krishna's service. When the person will utilize his life, his energy, and his resources in Krishna's service, then and then only that satisfaction of heart will come. Otherwise, you may have thousands of opulences in this material world, but still you will be most anxious person, will be most stressful person, because the most heart fulfilling three. The person who is residing within your heart, that Paramatma, he is not satisfied with your service. Then how you will be satisfied, right? He is the source of satisfaction. So Vyasadeva, although he wrote Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, but still his heart was not that much happy. And then the Narada Muni came. By seeing this precarious situation of his disciple, Narada Muni decided to descend to his ashram. And after that, when Vyasadeva, he did Adaratithya of Narada Muni, he glorified Narada Muni, and first question Narada Muni asked him, are you satisfied? And Vyasadeva then started pouring his heart. No, my dear spiritual master, I'm not happy. Even after such a compilation and doing such a good work, I'm not so happy. Then Narada Muni, within first or second verse, Narada Muni says, because you didn't satisfy the Supreme Lord, your work has not sufficiently glorified the Supreme Lord. So that's why when Lord is not satisfied with your work yet, how can you feel satisfaction? That same thing is applicable for each and every sadhaka. We might say that I am chanting so nicely, I am doing this service and that service, but if Krishna is not satisfied with our endeavor, that satisfaction, that fulfillment, and that advancement in devotional service will not be rewarded to us. So, first and foremost thing is that satisfaction of Krishna. And how Krishna will be satisfied? When his devotees will be satisfied. So, when our authorities and devotees becomes very much satisfied with our endeavors and devotional service, with our sadhana and seva, definitely Krishna will be satisfied. And with the instructions of Srila Narada Muni, when Vyasadeva started compiling Srimad Bhagavatam, after this compilation of Srimad Bhagavatam, he is like into ecstasy. Okay, now I feel that I have done something as a service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, if Vyasadeva feels ecstasy after compilation of Srimad Bhagavatam, what to speak of then sadhaka? If he reads Srimad Bhagavatam every day, all kinds of benedictions will be awarded by the Supreme Lord to that particular person who regularly hears Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's what the glory of Srimad Bhagavatam is. That's what I wanted to share today with all of you. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरे कृष्ण।